What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 75, and welcome to the season recap, and welcome to the off-season video. We're all going to put this into one as we kind of recap what happened this year. As you guys see, you guys do not know. You guys clearly saw in the news heading, we won the Super Bowl. That was pretty cool to be a part of. That was pretty cool to kind of watch and stuff like that. See the team grow from year 5. A team that was at one point 4-4 heading into that week 9 bye, and then going on a 6-2 run. Especially after that, the run really kind of started after that Jets loss. If you guys remember, where we were up by 19, we were up by 9 in the second half, and I remember we got 3 turnovers from our defense, and we didn't respond. And you guys are seeing the game log and what happened, and the explosions on offense. The season recap. By the way, there are certain things I went over in the regular season recap. There's certain things I did go over. And you were wondering why am I not going over in this video, is because I went it over in the regular season video. That's kind of just saves me more time with my editing and stuff like that, and saves you more time with the video. And you guys see what we did throughout the regular season, going 13-3 and stuff like that. And I'll get into the games a little bit later, but yeah, from a team that you guys saw did it actually really starting from year 4, a team that was really struggling to really find an identity without Tom and Bill, the whole bit, Gronkowski, Edelman. A team that struggled a lot, but eventually they found their way. The Patriots found their way, and it really started in that year 5 when after that Jets loss that put us to 5-5. Pretty much for the rest of the year, we had to win out. And obviously things had to fall our way. And obviously you guys are seeing the thriller against the Baltimore Ravens in week 8. Obviously things had to fall our way and stuff like that. Let me scoot up to the mic and make sure this sounds better. Obviously things had to fall our way and stuff like that. And yeah, it was we were able to go 6-1. 5-1 for our last 6 games, and we got help from Cleveland beating Baltimore, and we were able to take care of our business, and we were able to get in. Obviously there were some bumps along the road, like the game this year against Chicago, where I fumbled the ball twice, including one at the end of the game. And our defense really didn't play that well, but we still had opportunities at an offense to play better and make plays that win us the game, and we didn't do that. That was the first time in, I would say, if this was a real life season, real life league, 2 months worth of games where, or 2 months worth of days where we didn't win. And I guess that kind of sparked something in us, and as you guys are seeing some of the old games and stuff like that. And you know what's crazy? It was kind of like, I thought that games against the Chiefs, which it was somewhat competitive, but I thought games against the Bills were going to be battle. Both of them were going to be a battle, and they didn't end up being a battle at all. Really, the best games that we had were against the Ravens. That was the best games we had. Honestly, like the most competitiveness we've had. Maybe the Dolphins game and the second Dolphins game, but there really wasn't a time where it kind of just felt like we were going back and forth. The Ravens game, that was a back and forth finish, but yeah, it was just and it kind of just seemed like at the end of the season, everything was it just felt easy. It just felt super easy for us to do. It felt extremely easy seeing what we were able to do and stuff like that. and I just like, wow, like everything just, and even the Minnesota Vikings game, I thought it was gonna be a battle and stuff like that, but it wasn't. It was an absolute outclassing by us. And by the way, I would like to say this. It's kind of a contrast to what happened the first 2 seasons of this series, where every game, like even the first 3, every game was a battle. You guys remember the first 2 games, the only 2 games I post of year 4, they were battles. Like every single game was a battle, even though we were down by a lot of points. We were able to make a game going into the 4th quarter where it was anybody's game. Year 5, there was a lot of games that had to come down to the wire, came down to the last drive, especially week 4 in year 5. We were playing against the Bills. That game came down to a 4th down. And Zach had to make the play, and he was able to get the ball out just in time. And there were so many other games that came down to plays like that, including the playoffs. But then you look at year 6, there was a little bit less, a little bit more blowouts, and a little bit more thorough victories and stuff like that, but there were still battles. Year 7, until this year, until the playoffs, there was no battles, and it definitely kind of showed that we weren't as battle-tested as we were last year. I think we used the resolve of being the underdog and having that perspective of still being that underdog for the last 2 seasons in the playoffs, and in the last 2 seasons, and the last 2 regular seasons. It kind of helped us in this moment because we were down by, I think, 7 in these ball games. I remember we were down by 10 here in the Pittsburgh game. You guys remember seeing it? Nothing, and like we were putting the ball on the turf so many times, and this was probably Zach's finest performance. Oh, his second finest performance. I'll get to his finest one here in a second. But yeah, I mean, he had to pretty much put the team on his back. And by the way, this was all without his best receiver. All without his best receiver. And I guess you can say Zach was throwing to all-stars and stuff like that. I beg to differ, to be honest. I don't think he was throwing all-stars. Well, he was, but these guys came all-stars with Zach. This team drafted a lot of these players. They developed on their... Well, I wouldn't say they developed on their own. They made leaps and strides and stuff like that. And based on the upgrades, like I said, I rewarded them. Like I told you guys about the reward system that I'm starting to implement. It's not going to be anything drastic. It's going to be like +8 in like +8. Like it's going to be a combined like increase in attributes by like +8, like in different things, like +2 in one thing, +2 in the second, +2 in the third, +2 in the fourth. That's it, and then we're done. It's gonna go +8 to +5 because I really want players to actually end up being stars and stuff like that. As you guys have seen the numbers, Zach Phillips it's like it's not even. Do we even need to bring it up? I mean, just the next closest guy didn't even reach 4,400 yards. Zach, like. It's just like that's gonna take like nearly 6 more games for someone to even get close, to even have a chance to get close. Pass attempts, the only person that was close was John Hernan. I mean, should we even say it? I mean, in Zach Phillips, I understand this is his first year throwing in a while, throwing more than 5 interceptions. But look at his touchdown rate. And by the way, in the second half of the year, Zach Phillips threw for 36 touchdowns. How about only 1 interception? And in those 7 games before the last game of the year where he did throw the interception, he threw for 33 touchdowns. Not 1 pick. Are you kidding me? In 7 games? That's nearly 5 touchdowns a game. That's just insane. And by the way, this is on all Madden and stuff like that. I've already played some of the games in year 8 and stuff like that. And by the way, Lamar Jackson was second in MVP voting. And if you guys do not know, Zach Phillips did win the MVP. You guys should know it because you guys should have watched all the other episodes. If you guys want to watch it, should be on my channel. There should be a playlist. for you guys. But here are some of the guys that actually ended up playing very well. You guys seen some of the guys we checked out: Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson. But there is one quarterback I definitely do want to check out, and that's going to have to be Roy Landry. Roy Landry and Josh Reynolds. But I do want to check, and we're going to check out, I think, Roy Landry first. He came from Arizona State. But here's the guys who led the league in interceptions. Ricky Leno. You guys do not know who Ricky Leno is. He actually was my backup my first year in the league. Zach's first time in New England in year 5. Not first time in New England in year 5. I would say in Zach's 5th year of the league. Ricky Leno was the backup in New England. You guys see Josh Reynolds won quarterback of the year. A down year for Vernon Miller. We might talk about that in a second, but here is Roy Landry here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if I went over this in the regular season recap. But I'd like to do 2 season recaps, honestly. Just so you guys understand how we like to evaluate this season and stuff like that. Well, yeah, Roy Landry, without question his best season of his career. Tyree Jackson, he's coming off 2 great years. Last year he led his team to the NFC divisional round, but unfortunately they lost to the Washington, let's call them the Commanders in this game, even though the names are not the Commanders anymore. I don't know if I'll get canceled or anything like that. I don't even know if I have a huge following, but I don't want to risk it because I have a good feeling, you know. As you guys see, the league leaders in the rushing department for the running backs. This is the numbers, and you guys see Zeke and Christian McCaffrey are actually at the top of that list. You guys see the guy who led the league in fumbles was Zach Phillips. I think he only fumbled the ball maybe 0 times after week 12, maybe. But that's a little bit embarrassing. You guys see the league leader in receptions and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I already showed this. Hold on. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure I did it in the regular season recap. Here are the regular season receiving stats, and let me know if you guys want me to show career touchdown passes and all this other stuff. Let me know. Let me know. Just get me involved, right? What do you guys see the season that Terrence Glover had? I mean, just phenomenal. Just a phenomenal season. A season that I don't think many people really saw coming. I don't think many people saw Stanley Terry coming, and he's turned himself into one heck of a receiver. Obviously, there's still room to grow for him, especially for Terrence as well. You guys are obviously going to see Kenny Golladay, and I will get to regression with him. He definitely got hit with the regression pretty good, unfortunately. And he's at the point in his career where, for a receiver, I'm not going to really upgrade him. I'm going to let him I'm going to let the CPU do its thing. Unless he has another great year, then I might do a little slight upgrade. But I'm going to let the CPU do its thing. And if it wants to do something, I'll let it do it. Unless you're at the age of like 29, then I might reconsider. But he's now, ladies and gentlemen, because he came into this league, I believe, at the age of 23. And he is now of the age, he's past the age of 30. He's 30, I think now 33? He might be 33, 34. So, yeah, man, he's not at that point of his career where it's kind of might be starting going downhill. I think he's gonna be playing in the slot, and also I would like to talk to you guys as you guys are seeing some of these other stats with sacks, and we're gonna go look at defense and kicking and stuff like that. I would like to talk to you guys about something I'm planning on doing. Which is, I am going to be tweaking the sliders because I originally thought I had it at some place that I wanted it, but it's not where I really wanted it. We are going to do this. We're going to do the upgraded system, the offseason training upgrading system, for the rest of the series. And we're actually going to do it. And like I said, it's going to be +8 to +4, +4 to +8. That's the highest you can go. And team and player, that will be impacted. That will definitely be impacted. The age will be impacted on my decision on the certain type of player. But we're also now going to do with the defense. We're also now going to be involving defensive players, and I think it's going to be an interesting fact, especially that might actually get and maybe development increase and stuff like that with players and the way that they played and stuff like that. That is going to be involved, and I will be turning at the quarterback accuracy. Because now Zach, he's pretty much now at 99, and his accuracies are at 99, which is I'm glad it is, because he's throwing passes on the money. He's still growing as a player and stuff like that. But I want these corners and defensive players around the league to grow themselves, and it should be fun to see how that happens. So that is what I wanted to say about that. So you will be seeing better defensive players, and you might see upgrades to speed and stuff like that. But tell me how you guys like that, because I'm gonna do it for both offense and defense, and I probably will give them probably a little bit more to make it a little bit more challenging of gameplay. I like the immersion. I like competitive football. I like the games that we had in year 5. Because it wasn't like we didn't have any dominant performances. We dominated in Week 7 against the Jets. We dominated Week 13 against the 49ers. We dominated in Week 16 against the Bengals. We had dominant wins. Were there many? I would say no, but that season. But we had dominant victories. I like close victories, but. I kind of want a mixture of the games that we had in year 6 and year 5. Because year 6 we had pretty much every single type of victory. Dominating blowout victories, close, tight ball games from start to finish, games where it was tight at one point and then we explode in one quarter and then pull away. There's a variety of games that happened. Which made it fun. Year 6, without question, even though we just won our back-to-back championship and Zach Phillips is now 2-time Super Bowl champ, without question, year 6 was the most fun I had in the series. And also, it would be nice to see if someone can three-peat. I think it's right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're the only franchise in NFL history to have 2 back-to-back to repeat twice. And I think we're the only team since Tom Brady and Bill Belichick did it with those guys, with Teddy Bruschi, what's the other guy? Rodney Harrison, Willie McGinnis. Let me name some guys from the start. Ty Law. I think Ty Law, he got hurt in that Pittsburgh game in Week 8 on Halloween, unfortunately for him, and I think he missed the rest of the year. Poole. I think it was Tyrone Poole or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Guys like Troy Brown. I don't think they kept their running backs for too long, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they did. TB, Adam Vinatieri, Bill Belichick, and all those guys. Yeah, they when they went back to back. And now we did it, let's actually go to the retirement. So now we're in the offseason, guys. Let's go into the retirements. You guys see Aaron Donald, Michael Thomas, Luke Kuechly. I'm not surprised about that. Preston Smith, Derrick Henry after 11 years, Devontae Adams after 13, Xavier Howard after 11. Wow, some big names. Zach Martin, Odell Beckham Jr., Jordan Howard, the former Patriot, is going to be hanging him up. Mike Tomlin hangs it up as well. One of the best coaches of all time. A coach that has coached against my favorite team for quite some time. So We'll see what happens here in the offseason. So it's been a pretty crazy offseason. I mean, a team. But let's just see who's still on the team before we get on here. Harrison's still on the team. We have Tyson Jones, which I don't know how he doesn't get upgraded. I might upgrade him. I don't know. Also, you guys see Terrence Glover on them boys, man. Kenny Galladay. Here's the regression I was talking about. Yeah, he got regressed. He regressed hard regression, and just and now, if it wasn't for morale, he's now at 82 overall. I think he was like a 90 in year 5. He's now at 80, and let me go back to, if we can go back to his age, that would be great. If I'm not mistaken, I think he might be 33, 34 years old now. Yeah, he's one of the older receivers now, and he's only in his 11th season. But here goes Ross Underwood. He might take over that spot sooner rather than later. Who knows? But yeah. Oh yeah. This is another thing I want to talk to you guys about. House rules. Jerry Van Dyke, Luke Hensley left. But I want to talk to you guys about possibly adding house rules to this series, which is this. Well, I'm not going to put it in there, but if you see my play calling change throughout year 5, year 8, here's the thing. I'm actually going to be calling plays based on, and I'm going to go to Ask Coach or Coach Suggestions, right? Madden, right? And we are pretty much going to ask. We're pretty much going to just, like you press down on the D-pad. Or you see the first 3 plays, but then you press down the D-pad and you see another 3 plays. I can only pick from those 3 plays. Let me know from those 6 plays. I can only pick from those 6. Should add another element to it, and here is the end of free agency. I think we go all the way down. So we're gonna see every single pickup of every single team. Tell me something that really catches your eye, and then I apologize if I didn't slow down. You guys see Carson Wentz is gonna go back up. William Kelly of the Giants, and you guys see Matt O'Leary is gonna go to the Falcons. Mason Cole to the Bills. Not that many big free agent names. James Washington to the Lions. If I'm not, Michael Pierce to the Chicago Bears. Chris Boswell to the Rams. There hasn't really been a guy that really was signed for a good amount of money. And here is the schedule. You guys see week 1, we do start off against Miami at home, and then the Titans at home, both on primetime back-to-back weeks. You guys just saw, I just went back to just show you guys. Week 2, we're actually on Sunday Night Football against the Titans. So we start out, first 2 weeks, we'll be at home. First road game will be in week 3, a division rival against the Buffalo Bills. I like doing this to get a little suspense. And week 4, we do not have a bye week this week, and we will actually have a game against the Giants. Week 5, we actually have a game at home against the Cowboys. I think that's actually our first 1 o'clock game at home. And then it's going to be the Patriots at the Jaguars week 6, our second road game of the year, against a team that we played against in year 5 in the divisional round and in year 6 in the AFC Championship game. We won both of those games. So the split right now is it goes 2 home games, 1 road game, then 2 home games, then 1 road game. First 6 weeks. So that is a pretty good split. 4 home games, 2 road games, and then that's our 3rd road game of the year against the Jets at 4 o'clock. Our first 4 o'clock game of the year will be on the road against the Jets. Week 8, ladies and gentlemen, I do not see the New England Patriots, so that means that will be our bye week. I'll take that bye week. If you guys do not know me, I'm a fan of the Week 7 and later buys. And we'll come off our bye week against the Washington Commanders. I like to call them the Commanders because I just don't know if it's culturally accepted to call them what they usually are. And also after when we're done, I'm going to, and you guys see, I'm going to scroll up real quick and see that, yeah, Week 10, we're going to be on the road again against the Colts. Week number 11, we're back at home against the Houston Texans. That should be fun. And by the way, we did keep Timmy triplets. So, first time Zach Phillips is going to have some stability at kicker this series. And by the way, I apologize. And hopefully by the time the week 4 game against the Giants comes out, hopefully everything is on smooth sailing. I got everything in order. Hopefully everything's good, In week 12, we got the Bills at home. And then you got in week 13, we're going to be on the road in Philadelphia to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. That should be a fun one. That should be a fun, entertaining football game. Should be with a lot of drama. Week 14, we got the Dolphins on the road. So let's see how this season's going to end. Week 15, we actually got the Jets. So we actually will not end with 3 straight road or at home. And you guys see the Raiders. And then we have another game with the Raiders at Patriots at 4:05. But there's a lot of teams that are on the East Coast who are going to be playing at 4 o'clock that week. And to end the season, I did not see this, but we're going to have the Steelers on Sunday Night Football on the road. So that's actually a pretty decent schedule. Like I said, I do not know why Madden does not do the how it usually should be in the NFL, even though this is being recorded in 2022. Teams still end the season. Every single team ends with a division opponent. I don't understand. That's why I was very excited to play year 6 schedule. It was a very solid one all the way around, and we ended with a division game. You don't understand how happy I was because that created a lot of immersion for me, and I think for the fans. And really, that's when my channels really started to kind of get so much traction in terms of views and stuff like that. So that is everything I wanted to go over in the off-season video. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the draft recap. You guys see some of the guys that got drafted. Some of the guys, Cam Hill, some of the higher overall picks. Should be a fun season. Can't wait.